Yes, it is day 2.
I can't jump. I'm sitting in a stool.
It's day 2 of NADA 2026 here in Las Vegas. And we are broadcasting live from the Dealer eProcess booth 3901W. So you can come by and see us anytime. We'd love to see you. We're going to be broadcasting every single half hour today. And my first guest today is none other than one of the smartest guys that I have the pleasure of knowing. Stop it. Also one of the tallest. He's the Dealer eProcess COO.
That's a good way to put it.
Thank you.
COO.
Sam Vukas. And yes, I have him sitting. I know this is a rare occasion, but at the end, I'll show you why we have him sitting. But otherwise, how you doing, buddy?
How are you?
I'm
Every
doing so
30
good.
minutes? Are you going to lose your voice?
Yes, yes, I will.
Good thing I didn't do this tomorrow. You sound like you smoke a pack of cigarettes every night.
I'm already feeling it. Vegas voice is coming on strong.
Joe's got it already. Yes.
Well, I'll go check on it.
He's organizing everybody for the photo. I was like, your voice is hoarse.
So last night we had a party. Today we are doing some amazing demos. And we have some great show specials. You got to stop by the booth and see that. But you, my friend, COO man, yes, you keep Dealer eProcess trucking along and making sure that all of our dealer clients are succeeding. Yep. But one of the things that you also do in your vast array of responsibilities.
Other than annoy you?
Is you're also, of course, in charge of our product path and coming up with new technologies and innovating.
Yep.
And it takes a really brilliant mind to do that. So why don't you talk to us about some of the most recent DEP innovations that you are just so excited about?
The very recent ones that we had as a surprise to the show, the two that are getting the most traction are the updates to our trade tool and our soft credit pull tool. With everything going on with site speed, and there's every vendor in the space that does similar things, right? We want it to be super competitive with what we do on trade and credit. We understand that, especially here at the show, the Wi-Fi is terrible. So how do you get things to work in this scenario? And funny thing, so many things I see crashing on screens all across the board. We have the same problems. What doesn't have the problem today is our trade tool and our soft credit pull tool. It is trucking along in the worst Wi-Fi in the history of the data show.
I did not know that.
So it is doing it. We built it super lightweight. The dev team knocked it out of the park. We're just trying to keep up with the cutting edge of technology. There's new ways to create the same tools that everybody knows. And one thing that I really pride myself on is the dev team here at DEP really pivots and just adapts to new technology so quickly. So those two are going really great. Very excited to get those rolling.
Before you go on to even more technology that you've come up with, could you explain to people why it's important for them that they should look into native tools to their website instead of doing a third-party tool if they can help it?
Sure. The easiest way that I can describe it is if you have a website that has everything native, it all lives in one box. You don't have to leave that box to go to another box to get something else. So every third party.
On the consumer side.
Correct.
You know,
well, sometimes we can do tricks to make it look good, but it slows things down. It doesn't follow the same processes. Terms and conditions may not even line up. Every different vendor that you have on there, you run the risk of having a disconnect from what the consumer experience is versus what you're trying to run at your dealership. So having native tools ensures that nobody's leaving that box and that you're staying and it's contained. So security, speed, stability, all of those things matter. When you start adding extra things on, the best way I can describe is, especially for cars, if you just have a car that is original with the original engine components, you're fine. When you start bolting on products that the OEM didn't make and you're trying to juice horsepower out of it, you're trying to do all these things, those guys know those things break all the time and require a lot of maintenance. You want to be doing that. So
I love that you did a car metaphor.
So just buy a faster car. Don't buy a Buick and try to bolt stuff onto it. Buy a Ferrari and just be fast from the jump.
Get the Ferrari.
Get the Ferrari. It comes in blue.
You know, also it's like the more different vendors that you have, there's all these different dashboards. The data doesn't talk to each other. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's lots of reasons to look into having native tools to your website so that you have better performance, better reporting, cross reporting, all those kinds of things. So just give it a shot.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention AI.
I think everyone's talking about AI.
Which we have a deal that every time I say AI, you pay me $5 for saying AI. So one of the cool things about the trade tool is trade. I don't want to say it's boring, but it's simple.
Wait a
No,
second.
just still on. It's not. It's simple in its use case, right? I'm a shopper. I want to know what my car's worth.
Right.
I drive a 2016 Honda or whatever,
Okay.
right? I want it. I don't actually drive that car. No offense to Hondas. I don't fit in a Honda Accord.
We'll show you in a bit.
So you want to get the value, and you have to give something to get something. You have to give what your car is, give your first name and last name, email, some info, and then we tell you what the vehicle is. How do you make that cool? How do you make that useful to a dealer other than them knowing what the trade-in is?
Well, and useful to the consumer.
Useful to the consumer. So what we have come up with, which will be hopefully coming out next month or so, on top of the trade platform, is we're going to start mining the dealers' DMS data for the used cars that they've sold. It goes into an AI model. And then what it does is it makes suggestions based on what your historical take rate is on certain vehicles that you're selling for used cars.
Really?
And it'll tell you to auto adjust that value. So we support KBB and native guides as a baseline. And then when you pick that, if you're using KBB rough, and then the AI recognizes that 2000 to 2005 Ford Mustangs, you're just cracking people over the skulls with them. It's going to tell you to bump that up about $800 to $1,000 so that you get more vehicle acquisition on the cars that you make profit on. So the AI is working for the dealers to help them not only give consumers a better value for their car, but attract shoppers to sell them their vehicle, and you're going to move them a lot quicker. So we're excited about the new AI piece coming out to the trade, and I'm hoping in the next month or so.
I think a lot of the things that you are, the products that you're making and the features that you're putting into them goes back to your previous experience being at a dealership and saying, you know what, this kind of helpful, but this would be really helpful, right? Do you think that previous experience really is helping you in your current?
I think it does. I kind of touched a little bit of everything at the dealerships when I was there, but honestly, it's the group that we have. It's myself, it's Dan, our CTO, it's Gino, our chief revenue officer, it's Joel Matson. It's everybody at the company that's been here and been in automotive that I love sitting and going, hey, this is a wild idea. What do you think? Or they say, hey, I've got this thing, but I can't make it work in my mind. Can you help me? And we get together and we throw things at the wall and see what sticks. And it is a combination of Dan and the technology knowledge, me with the automotive, Gino with knowing what's happening in the market. It really is everybody, but it is an awesome mix. And, we do have a lot of people that came from automotive that cover all kinds of positions in our company. So we're not just tech. A lot of us lived the car life for a long time.
Yeah. No surprise to you, I'm sure, but our friend Dan Moore did a broadcast. Actually, I think he was my last one yesterday. And of course, I know you know this, Dan could not help himself. He mentioned that that car report that you guys came up with.
Yes. Well, so it was a little bit of Dan. It was a little bit of one of our dealers over at New Smyrna CDJR. Huge help on that. Just trying to turn automotive website reporting on its head.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of taken off, and we've continued to build and iterate on top of it. Do you want me to go into a little bit about that?
Just real fast, tell them what it is. I did mention yesterday that it is a DEP exclusive kind of report.
I don't know how we have been ripped off yet.
I don't understand how somebody else didn't think of it before, but it literally is a report that basically grades the performance of every single car in your inventory.
Well, it also helps dealers understand their kind of digital lot, right? So in previous times, we'd have to look in separate lanes. You had a lane for your leads. And if you drill down to the leads, you can see what cars were those leads on. And then you had to look in Google Analytics. And then you were looking at baseline metrics like VDPs and SRPs. And you could kind of look into and classify, okay, well, what VDPs are getting the views. And there was all these different buckets between metrics and page views and time on VDPs and entrances to VDP. And none of it correlated to one another. So what we did is we took it to the model level and we said, okay, let's just show the models. Let's show how many are in stock. Let's show how many leads each model is getting. And let's break those down by VIN and then expand the VIN to show the customers that have interacted with those VINs. And then to say what the engagement metrics are in those VINs, even if they didn't submit a lead. So now we have this awesome dashboard where you can actually see the health and performance of your inventory. You can understand what Lexus UX 250H shoppers are. Such a hard model to remember. What those shoppers are doing. And you can compare and contrast because every shopper is different. I'm going to use Hyundai because it's an easier example. A Palisade shopper is different than a Hyundai Elantra shopper.
That's
true. They take different actions. They look at different things on the website. They interact potentially with different CTAs. Why have we not taken the time to look at it this way before? Everybody's like, oh, how do I modify the performance of my website? You understand what each shopper in each model category needs and wants, and then you tailor it that way. But unless you understand the data, you can't make the adjustment. So I love it. I think it's going to be just come the center point of everything we do from a reporting perspective is going to just continue to build on to this platform.
So it's funny because you brought up the magic word.
What?
How do you personalize your website? Personalization. That's all what we're about over here for our websites. Of course, it was just over a year ago that we launched Everest, the all-in-one platform that combines your website and your digital retailing and your digital marketing all in all the things, right? And it also has that AI component that personalizes the user experience. So
where do you think it's coming from?
It's
coming from that dashboard.
Right? So your user experience on an Everest website would be different from my user experience on the. If you're looking for a pickup truck, let's say,
okay.
Right?
I wish.
And I'm looking for a convertible. Why are we seeing the same things? We shouldn't be. We're totally different. Obviously, I'm looking for a convertible. So talk to me a little bit about
me in a convertible. I'd be like above the windshields.
We're going to show you in a little bit. But talk to me a little bit about this triumph that you've made with this Everest platform.
Okay. I mean, how much time do we have?
I will let you speak as long as you need to until my next speaker comes.
So we talked, you teed it up a little bit. We talked about having everything all in one. And everything all in one, again, for security, for speed, for just ease of use for the consumer is obviously very important.
And data.
Yeah. And what we're doing with the inventory report to understand the customers, we are pushing to the front end of the website. Dealers for years have had custom content, model overview pages, comparison pages, video pages. They have all this rich content on the website. It is crazy to think that a shopper that buys a car maybe every 4 or 5 years is going to go, oh, this site must have brochures. Let me go find it. Why do we think they're going to find it? But we have all this rich content. So what we did is we are looking at all of the actions that equal a lead and ultimately a sale. And then what's happening is Sherpa's churning through all of this data. And part of the Sherpa shopping assistant is it makes suggestions when it sees actions are being taken on the website, right? To say, hey, maybe you do want to look at that brochure. Hey, you clicked a lot of photos. Here's the photo gallery. Hey, do you want to see a window sticker? Hey, this rebate's expiring in the next 48 hours, act fast. It takes all of these signals and actions and it kind of pushes them right along. Furthermore, what it does is it recognizes if a shopper has already looked at a car, it changes the SRP view. So if they have not taken action, it's going to put secondary and tertiary actions in front of them. Because we didn't get them with first pass. If they click confirm availability, they click value trade, they're clearly not looking for that. So let's go ahead and change it for them. Next, we also remember the features that are important to them. If they come in and they're looking at Bluetooth and CarPlay, whatever, they leave the site, they come back 5 days later. Why are we having them start over
Can
again?
I just tell you, that is so clutch.
It's so awesome because with our search bar that we just updated on the homepage, somebody could literally get back to the website after a week of being off of it and type
whenever,
right? Type in new Hyundai Palisade, and when they click enter, it's going to take them to Palisades, but it's going to take them to Palisades with heated seats and CarPlay and Bluetooth if they selected those last time that they were on there. Why? Because we remember who you are. All without a login.
Without a login. I was just going to say, just in case you forgot to say it, without making them type it. Because what car shopper is going to go in there and say, oh, create an account to go shop for a car? Sure.
No. Why would you make sure? Most people are looking.
I would never do that.
Most people are looking across dealers digitally. Am I making 3, 4, 5 logins for different dealers who I've not decided to do business with yet?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. So just make it intuitive, make it simple. Don't freak them out. So we have to also be very cautious on how we personalize so people don't go, this is weird. So we want to make sure it's subtle, but it's subtle and it's useful.
Yeah.
Right? We reorganized SRP filters. We have an inlaid garage in the SRP. I don't know why nobody did that before. Every shopper, when they come back to a site, the first place they go to look for inventory, SRP. Why are we putting garages in the top header? Why are we putting them in toolbars float? Why are we putting them in the menus? Put it to where they go. We put it right in front of them. And our shoppers use them on our dealer websites all the time. Some use it to compare. Some use it to save and come back and interact with later.
Yeah.
So it's just a really nice, subtle touch that's easy and clean to use.
I love our beefed up digital retailing tool right now too. Because yes, it does have the credit tool and the trade tool. I remember from my own car shopping experience, they did not have a DEP website, and every single time.
Still bought the Bronco, by the way.
maybe. I wound up getting in the convertible, by the way. But I remember going through that digital retailing experience on this website, and I had to put in my stuff for the trade, and then it didn't carry over to the next tool that I used for the credit.
Yep.
Like, it was annoying. I had to keep putting the same information in.
Yep.
And we solved that, right?
We did. So a couple different things. Our current versions of the trade and credit will remember that information transferred into DR. For the show, we're debuting the new trade and credit. The team's still working on making that connection. We don't save the PII because there's a lot of implications and security things and stuff like that. But if you've already done trade and you walk into digital retailing, the new one will very shortly, in the next week or so, carry that information over. Our current generations do already. So if you get that trade in value, it's going to be there in DR. We just, again, want to make it simple. The DR has been dropped right into the VDP, where, again, the highest intent shoppers are going. We know that they're there. Why are we taking them off site? Why are we putting up a mobile window? All of you spend so much. When I say you, I mean dealers. All of you spend so much money to make your websites amazing. You put content on there. You have the brochures. You have the window stickers. You have video walkarounds. You have 360s. You have interior. All these things. And you put a mobile window in front of that, and then you shrink the experience to where this person still hasn't made a decision. You've lost all merchandising capabilities by locking them in this workflow for digital retailing. Ours does not do that. It is on the VDP. You could be in the middle of buying that car and you go back and go, let me go check the window sticker. I'm not sure if it has the blackout shadow line trim. Let me go check. Now, if your website's good, it'll feature that like ours does, but not everybody has taken the time to do that. So, I get it. But that's really that's the beefed up nature of the digital retailing.
Yeah. Let me just say, your website could be the most wonderful, gorgeous, amazing, fast website out there. But if you can't get traffic to it, So let's talk a little bit about SEO. We, of course, have great SEO baked in. And, of course, people are now talking about other things happening in the SEO world that will help them show up in LLMs and stuff like that. So talk to me about how you spearhead the SEO nature, how we build the websites to be more receptive to those search engines. And then talk to me about what everyone else is talking about, which is all those AI, large language models, and how to, is it really working? Is it making a difference?
All right. Well, I'm going to set the record straight first and foremost. I'm not spearheading. It's Todd Quibicki, who is the mastermind genius behind all things SEO.
Who reports to you?
Yes. Well, Todd's an enigma. He reports to who he needs to for the day. So what happens is, what happened was everybody wanted to pretend like SEO is dead. Like, we have a agentic, it's AI. This is the only thing that
SEO
matters.
is never dead as long as the internet survives.
Traditional SEO is still one of the biggest driving factors for AI search results and crawlability and how it understands your website. So it's still very much alive and still very much important.
Yes.
We have adopted the LLM's TXT file. We're monitoring. We're seeing some traction from it, but again, it's not a widely adopted kind of centerpiece of all of this, but we're the first ones to do it. Look, at the end of the day, if it helps, we want to be there, and it's not going to hurt dealers. So we're one of the first ones that had that. I am here to say today that we actually did a quick test on one of our dealers. This is one store over the last 90 days has had 20 leads from ChatGPT referrals.
What?
Yes. So we're doing a full analysis across the board. We've been trying to watch this slowly. We had a couple trickle in here and there, but it's really starting to go. So from how we do our rich schema markup on our websites, how we tag all of these vehicles. And the crazy thing is the entrances from the ChatGPT referrals.
20 leads from ChatGPT?
In 90 days. And the reason and what we're seeing is our schema markup on our SRPs and VDPs is so rich beyond anything else in the industry. We're seeing the entrances on these pages. We're seeing people get a ChatGPT referral to an SRP page and then convert or to a VDP page. They come right into the website from ChatGPT. It links them. They click. They go. Boom. They put in the lead.
They must be so thrilled.
So Todd, it's working.
Incredible. That's incredible.
Yep.
Wow. Keep us posted on that.
Yeah, we're doing a full analysis across the entire platform.
Okay, well, you heard it here. Now, listen, if you're here in Las Vegas, booth 3901W, so you can talk to Sam himself. I've been asking all of the presenters. I'm going to ask you as well. Last question. Okay. Same for everyone. What? You got to put your bottle down.
It is dry. It is Vegas.
Vegas, I know. What do you feel, Sam Vukas, what do you feel dealers need to focus on, concentrate on, or do so that they see more success in 2026? I didn't give you the heads up on this.
No. Man, I wish I remembered all the content from the webinar we just did, because it was kind of about that. I mean, here's the thing. We know that margins are decreasing. We know that customer sentiment is decreasing. We know that costs of vehicles have risen 30%. It is going to get tough. So we have to go back to the old scrappy days of really trying to make sure that things are honed in online, that we're explaining the why buys of the dealerships, explaining to them affordability, really talking about leasing. There are some great lease deals out there right now, and just really taking it back to that person-to-person kind of conversation. You got to be there digitally from the DR perspective because shoppers, a lot of people are working from home, a lot of people are hybrid. Again, people still don't understand buying a car. They really don't. Like, we live and breathe this every day. We understand stackability. We understand the difference between standard and subvented rates. We understand how all of this works. Some people, believe it or not, haven't bought a car since before COVID. So, like, we still have to be there to do all of these things. So to be successful, we have to really just tighten it up, work with the vendors, make sure that we're doing all the things that we have always done for decades. But also, we have to be there digitally and we have to be there accurately.
So basically, put more focus on the customer journey and making sure you're meeting them where they are
100%.
and giving them what they're looking for. I love it. I love it. I told you, smart fella. If you want to meet him in person, Sam Vukas. Also, you can just email him directly. He loves getting emails from you.
I do. It's just literally Sam at Dealer eProcess. Just email me.
Thank you so much for joining
Absolutely.
me today. We promised them that they would see.
All right. Okay. Hold on. Let me just make sure I don't fall over.
I am pretty sure this is the point at which I'm supposed to ask you, hey, how's the weather up there? So this is why I had him sit. Sam Vukas, thank you so much, sir.
Yes. All right.
Next up, we have the cutest presenter coming up. You're not going to want to miss this. She is also the youngest NADA presenter ever. Her name is Kaylee Jewett, and I swear this woman, she could rule the world someday. You're going to want to meet her. She'll be coming up next. We're broadcasting live from NADA 2026 here in Las Vegas at booth 3901W. Come by and see us, and we'll see you in just another few minutes. Take care.